Again, had a minor technical difficulty to work through before we could get it going, but, we got it going. We're live. So jump on the stream at facebook.com/thefanupstate or search The Rob Brown Show on YouTube, and we'll get you hooked up to come behind the scenes with the Timinator and I. We got a lot of stuff to talk about on the show today. A lot of stuff to talk about on the show today. Last night, Stanley Cup action. Tampa Bay. How about the Lightning? 3-1 winners over the Rangers, now have a 3-2 series lead. Yes, that is the same series that they were down 0-2 to start. Now they find themselves up 3-2 and on the brink of taking down the Rangers. Unbelievable stuff from Tampa Bay. We're going to talk about that as well as the full-on brawl that you missed last night if you weren't watching. It got a little heated. We are going to talk analytics in baseball, but it won't be boring because we've got an actual situation that played out last night. And I want to talk a little bit about the analytics, a little bit about how the numbers work. So stay tuned with me there because this is a conversation that is not just relevant to baseball, right? This is a conversation that is relevant to baseball. It's a conversation that's relevant to football. It's a conversation really that's relevant to every sport, but listen, analytics work. And despite what you've heard about the Tony La Russa situation, I actually want to take a look at those numbers. Tony La Russa was wrong, just so we're abundantly clear, but I want to take a look at those numbers. We're going to do that coming up later on in the show. Paul Finebaum, despite the amount of work he does, despite the number of contacts that he has, Paul Finebaum is a troll. And he reminded us of that yesterday. I want to get into that a little bit. And you know what's bad? When you have me rushing to the defense of Dabo Swinney, we're going to talk about that. But before we get into any of that, a story that caught my attention yesterday. It comes from Wednesday. I wanted to get into it yesterday on the show, and it's lost a little bit of the impact because the losing streak in question was snapped yesterday after the Angels figured it out. But dig this. Before they snapped their 14-game losing streak yesterday, the LA Angels had lost 13 games in a row. Wednesday night, they took on the Boston Red Sox. They took on the Bo Sox. They were trying to not get to 14. It was the longest losing streak in the history of the team. It was absolutely a threat to sabotage a team's chances at the postseason, despite there still being, at the time, 104 games remaining on their schedule. Mike Trout exited Tuesday's game for the Angels. And before you hang up on me, hold out, because I am not about to go deep dive into Anaheim Angels baseball. Instead, I got to talk about how desperate this team got. This team on Wednesday decided to shuffle up the iPad, shuffle up the Spotify playlist, and come up with new walkout music for their entire lineup. I'm going to give you the list of songs that the 9 batters came out to. T2 Tim Snow, the Timinator, I'm bringing you in on this discussion. I'm going to give you the 9 songs this baseball team walked out to. All 9 batters came out to a different song. I'm going to give you all 9 songs. I want you to tell me what they have in common. All right, we're doing a little FM afternoon drive rock DJ game here, right? I'm going to play you 3 songs. Caller number 4. Now tell me what they all have in common. You win a prize pack courtesy of our friends. Here's the 9 songs. Coming up first in the lineup, Shohei Ohtani batting leadoff out to the song A Photograph. Adele after that comes out to Rockstar. After that, batting third in the lineup, Walsh comes out to How You Remind Me. And then up next in the cleanup spot, it's Duffy with Someday. Lagares comes up next with the song If Today Was Your Last Day. After that, it's Marsh batting in the sixth spot with When We Stand Together. Batting seventh, it's Mayfield, his walkout song this afternoon. What Are You Waiting For? Finally, Suzuki in the 8-hole, batting two this afternoon. And then batting in the 9th hole, it's Wade. He comes out to Animals. Caller number 1 to tell me what those 9 songs have in common. You win a prize pack. Caller number 1, Tim. Tim Snow on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Tim, do you have a guess? Connect the classics here on the Fan Upstate. Any idea what those songs have in common? Correct. And they are all Nickelback songs. The LA Angels of Anaheim decided that to build a little positive mojo before they played the Bo Sox on Wednesday, we're going to come out 9 deep to Nickelback songs. You want to guess what happened next in that game? They lost again. Now, listen. I am not going to bang the drum on Nickelback because they figured out the formula to make lots of money. It's not that they're bad, right? Like, people have asked me 100 times, why does Nickelback get so much disdain? And the reason they get disdain is because at the point in time where Nickelback broke out, there was a bit of a resurgence in metal at that point, right? We were seeing a lot of metal bands, and they were finally starting to get some love. And then record labels decided, let's mainstream metal. Let's mainstream heavy rock. But in order to mainstream it, right? In order to mainstream it, you got to make it you got to make it less rock, right? It becomes pop rock. And Nickelback just happened to be the band that record industries decided this is the sound of mainstream heavy metal, but it was pop. But it was pop music. It was very poppy.
Not to mention that Jack Kroger went so far to talk trash about Corey Taylor, who is the lead singer of Slipknot.
Yep.
So I think that's where they get a lot of the hate.
Well, and again, I almost understood it at the time, right? I almost understood it at the time, instead of saying nonsense words that don't exist. I almost understood it at the time because Nickelback was getting piled on at that point, like heavy hard, because everybody who was a fan of metal hated Nickelback because Nickelback was being marketed as metal. They were being sold as metal when they were pop rock finest, right? They were pop rock at its finest. Do me a favor, make sure your mic's going into the stream there as well, if you don't mind. There goes our glass. Man, what a Friday we're having here on the show. They were pop rock that was being distributed as metal. And so people who performed actual metal were like, yo, bleep these guys, man. Like, this isn't our stuff. This isn't us. And so Chad Kroger and the boys were getting crap like crazy. In fact, I saw a video not too long ago that popped up on my social media from a concert where Nickelback was scheduled to play between, I don't remember the other bands, but two metal bands.
Oh, I think I've seen the same video.
And the crowd started throwing beer cans and stuff at him, right? And they're like, we got any Nickelback fans out there?
Yeah.
And the fan was like, boo.
Yeah,
and then people started hawking beer cans at him, and he was like, all right. And they just literally put their instruments down, flipped off the crowd, and went home.
Yeah.
Right? They got a bunch of crap. So I got why Chad Kroger was so hostile. He was constantly being called all sorts of names when my man had achieved the dream of, we're making records that are going mainstream and making lots of money. Now, a lot of metal guys are going to go, you're a sellout, bro. Like, you're a sellout. You changed your sound in return for money. And I'll tell you right now, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I think the hate for Nickelback definitely falls on Chad Kroeger. Because, just the way he handles those kinds of situations and stuff. He's very temper tantrum prone.
Sure. But again, think about it. If you spent 10 to 14 years of the prime of your career getting absolutely crapped on by people you used to love, right? Because they were metal guys before they got mainstream metaled. If you got, for a handful of years, a decade, crapped on by people you love, it would make you jaded. It would make you hostile as well. And I think that's what happened to Chad Kroeger. Now.
Well, but hold on a minute. Well, wait a minute. So, there's people that don't like, how do I say this? There's people probably that you've had for your band, right? That don't like your music. But, do you talk trash to them every single time? Like they come out and heckle or anything like that?
I'm in a cover band. I'm saying if you played 6 or 7, 8 years of genuine metal music, and Nickelback was a metal band before they went mainstream, and then somebody came to you and said, we want you to not play what you like to play anymore. We want you to sound more like this, and we're going to give you a lot of money for it.
Yeah, but the same thing happened to... Well, the same thing happened to Stain, though.
Yeah, and they get called sellouts, too.
Well, yeah, but then they came out with that album. I think it was their last album that was a little harder than their other stuff.
Yes, because at that point they had made it, right?
Right.
But that's not to say that they didn't sell themselves out to get to that point in the first place.
My point is that, Aaron Lewis didn't, treat his fans like crap just because he wasn't playing the music he wanted to play.
I get it. At the same time, I get where Chad Kroeger came from. All right, listen, this is not supposed to be a Nickelback segment. All right, I'm trying to talk baseball here.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, Joe Madden gets fired. The Angels decided to go Nickelback, 9 different Nickelback songs from 1 through 9 in the order, and then they got beat again by the Bo Sox. The Angels are the 9th team with a losing streak of at least 14 games this season. There have only been a handful of other teams, 8 other teams, that have had 14-game losing streaks so far since the year 2000. Not ideal. My question is, you are already suffering enough, Angels fans. Your fans were already suffering enough. Why would you subject them to hours of Nickelback during a game? Why would you do that to them? Why? Listen, if you're a Nickelback fan, I'm not here to judge. Have at, right? Have at. I listen to bluegrass in my car. I'm not judging anybody's musical taste. I am saying that you could have done better, Angels. You could have done better. If you want to listen to Nickelback, listen to Nickelback in the privacy of your own home.
Right.
All right. Keep it in the house. Keep it in the house. All right. We got a lot of other stuff to get to on the radio broadcast today. By the way, they did snap that 14-game losing streak last night. Shohei Ohtani and the boys back on the winning side of things. Now 1-14 in their last 15. Oops. All right. We got a few more things to get into. We got a lot more things. It's Friday to get into on the show today. The governor of New York apparently had a conversation with Roger Goodell. Yes, the same governor of New York that is host of the Buffalo Bills, who are trying to find a new stadium, who are working with the NFL to get that done. And taxpayers said, oh, that's cool. You talked to Commish. How'd that phone call go? To which she said, I can't tell you that. Seems suspicious. We'll talk about that coming up later in the show. LIV Tour Day #1 yesterday. I watched about a half hour of that broadcast. Not impressed overall. We'll talk about that. Group B, World Cup for the Americans. I'm going to break that down and more. It's going to be busy. Stick around. The Rob Brown Show's on your radio. It's the Fan Upstate.
Real sports talk, real sports fans.
The Fan Upstate
Is the sports voice of you, the Upstate Fan. Call 844-FAN-PHONE. That's 844-326-3663. The Fan Upstate. Our lineup of playmakers.
The DA Show, mornings at 6.
That's my rival. I don't
I'm
like
sorry.
him. He's not going to paint the
No.
Show at 9.
I was right there in that conversation with you.
The Jungle with Jim Rome,
right,
weekdays
let's
at noon.
see.
This league is all about quarterbacks who can carry a team.
Daniel
He's
pops
just
up. He
not
says,
that
let's go,
guy.
And offsides with Mark Ryan at 3.
Sports doesn't care about your Disney fairy tales. What's going to be is what's going to be.
Sports talk for real sports fans.
Upstate.
Sports. And then Stammer
From
throwing
the
those hands. Yeah, he
1063
really was.
WORD Weather Center,
take
here's the
commercials out
upstate's
of
most
stream.
trusted forecast on the
I
fan.
meant to do that earlier and
It's all good. It's all good. It's Friday. We're going to work through it, baby.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different how? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
At Ingalls, we know the ever-present struggle of what are we going to make for dinner this week. That's why we started the Ingalls Table. It's a website that brings the best chefs and food experts right into your kitchen. You can sort through hundreds of recipes for every occasion, watch how-to videos, and print shopping lists to take to the store. It's all waiting for you at Ingalls-Markets.com. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Have you heard about HIMS? Apparently they take the awkwardness out of treating ED, and the process is really straightforward.
HIMS? Yeah, my buddy gets his ED meds through them. Said their online process is much simpler than going to a doctor's office.
Process is only a few steps, and they only ship ED
He said dump the promos and move the
FDA approved. All you got to do is go to 4hims.com/radio. You just answer a few
move
questions,
the
select your treatment preferences, and fill out some health information.
the spots.
Then a healthcare provider reviews
But
the
that was a
info
lot of
and
spots.
determines
There was no way to
if it's prescribed, it ships free right
there
to
was
your
no
door.
way to incorporate those into this show.
Get this, the
No.
medication I was prescribed is 90%
No, it's not on us. We got a show to do.
and has the same active ingredient. I can finally satisfy my partner.
For a free online consultation.
I'm gonna have to do that like after.
That's
There's no way.
Individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely. Paid for by Chaikin Analytics. Mark Chaikin is someone you're supposed to hate. He spent 50 years on Wall Street helping to create the entire stock rating system. He's everyone from Jim Cramer to Martha Stewart. And today, he's sharing an urgent warning to tell anyone who will listen. A very strange day is coming to America. In short, a massive and surprising new transition could determine the next group of millions.
Yeah, Josh, we're all good. Just dealing with a bunch of stuff, but we're getting through it, and it's all good, man.
To the market. You absolutely must consider buying one particular type of investment now, before it's too late, he says. To give you the full story, he posted the biggest prediction of his 50-year career online at stockmarketwarning.com/radio, along with the name and ticker symbol of the #1 investment to buy right now. Go to stockmarketwarning.com/radio to learn more, free of charge. stockmarketwarning.com/radio.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish, so we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to get conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective language.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿De dónde eres?
This interactive
He
lesson
said he'll have Stone Man help me.
Okay.
by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method.
That's good. I wanted to talk to him anyway.
You'll be speaking
All right, coming back.
Perfect. Oh, God. What's up, dog?
Yeah.
The Rob Brown Show is back on your radio. This is the Fan Upstate. Where are you going, man? What are you doing? Ladies and gentlemen, the illustrious, some people call him handsome. They're usually on some sort of illicit narcotic. You know, you can use another microphone there, Paul McCartney. We got multiple in here, pal. Stoneman was about to Lennon McCartney my mic with me. What's up, buddy?
You look bloody marvelous.
Yeah, thanks, mate. How you doing, pal?
Bloody good.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it, man.
No, we're just got some background stuff going on that might be happening.
Yeah, chaos, I think describes it.
Yeah, that would be it.
It's been a technically confusing couple of days here at the Radio Ranch, but we're getting it done.
But that's what we do here. We thrive in chaos.
Correct.
Not one radio station, but multiple.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Black Friday this year, England versus the U.S. in the World Cup. Where are we watching this thing, man?
London.
Oh, you're going to be there. You're going. Wait, are you really going to be in London for that?
No, I'll be in London next month. But,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that's not till November. You don't plan out that far. I've met you.
Right. I'm going tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will have to find a place to
Yeah.
watch it.
We got to find a place. That's I got to say, that's the biggest game of the group, right? Like, Wales is in. Christian Bale looked good, but Wales, the Americans should beat Wales. Same with Iran, should beat Iran, theoretically speaking. U.S. v. England might be to win that group and get a better draw in the first round of the knockout phase. That being said, England has, they started to look better, and then they came back down to earth.
Yeah.
The Americans started to look better, and not that they came back down to earth, but the last match just looked really flat against Uruguay. Granted, we're both in the experimental phase right now, but that match just got genuine World Cup considerations attached to it.
Well, the last World Cup was pretty damn good.
I mean, most of them are.
Yeah.
This one's weird though. We're playing in November and December instead of in the summertime, which pops it into the middle of a lot of other domestic leagues getting their start, which makes you wonder if guys are going to be fully dialed in for it.
Right.
This thing could get weird, man.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well, aren't we all? And I get to go drink in public with Stoneman.
Right?
I'm terrified already.
It could be dangerous. We could have a little bit of fun.
Us? No. Two reserved, shy, quiet guys like me and you?
Yeah, I know.
Not a chance.
It's hard to believe, but yeah.
I thought so.
We'll toss a few pints, I'm sure.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see
Thanks
you
for coming by. Go save Tim, too. He's panicking over there.
See if I can fix something.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely not panicking.
Yeah. All right. Some stuff I wanted to get into on the show. Speaking of baseball.
So this morning,
all right, so
I came in and
I saw this yesterday, and you guys know Liberab the Woke Warrior. All right, you've met the character before. Angel Hernandez. Yep, that one. And you know Angel Hernandez because Angel Hernandez is very bad at his job, right? We've talked about this a number of times. Angel Hernandez is bad at his job. He is a referee. He is an umpire. And again, he is bad at his job. Now, I don't even know, I was trying to come up with funny ways to set this story up, but I don't have one, right? Angel Hernandez has had his attorneys claim that Major League Baseball manipulated the umpires' evaluations, renewing the allegation in an attempt to reinstate the racial discrimination lawsuit that he lost last year. Hernandez's lawyers made the claim in a filing earlier this week to the Second U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, trying to overturn the summary judgment U.S. District Judge J. Paul Oetken granted to Major League Baseball in March of 21. Angel Hernandez is Cuban. He was born in Cuba before immigrating to the U.S. He was hired as a big league ump in 1993. In 2017, he sued Major League Baseball, alleging he was being discriminated against because he had not been assigned to the World Series since 2005 and had been passed over for the role of crew chief. Hernandez served as an interim crew chief from 11 to 16 at the start of the pandemic-delayed 2020 season and for part of the 21 season, but has not been made a permanent crew chief. Citing the 2011 through 16 seasons, Hernandez's attorney said in the brief to the appellate court that, quote, MLB manipulated Mr. Hernandez's year-end evaluations in order to make his job performance appear worse than it actually was. Mr. Hernandez's year-end evaluations for the 2011 to 16 seasons do not even come close to accurately summarizing Mr. Hernandez's actual performance in those seasons, end quote. MLB called those claims, quote, devoid of merit, end quote. Now, I typically give people the benefit of the doubt. I am more often than not in the corner of the workers, right? Again, Liberab the woke warrior, what do you want? But I gotta wonder, does Angel Hernandez understand that we can see him on TV? Does he understand that we can turn on the television and watch him call games? Does he understand that there are now out there in the Twitter sphere, there are now audit sites, right? There are audit sites of people who have access to the information of balls and strikes and the K-zone and all of that, who can go pitch by pitch and evaluate every call that Angel Hernandez makes. Is he aware of this fact? Because I got to tell you, Angel Hernandez, if I did not know your name, I'd probably have your back in this lawsuit, right? Or at least give you the benefit of the doubt to hear it out. If I didn't know your name, I would give you the benefit of the doubt and be willing to hear out your claim and look at the data, look at the evidence, look at the numbers that you brought forward. But I know your name, Angel Hernandez. I am aware of who you are, Angel Hernandez. You are on my TV very frequently, Angel Hernandez, being talked about, Angel Hernandez, because of how bad you are at your job. That's it. I am aware of your name. I am aware of who you are, and I am aware of your name and who you are because of how bad you are at your job. This is not racial discrimination. This is not fudging the numbers. This is 100% a product of the fact that you are bad at your job, right? Angel Hernandez, Joe West, we know the names of the umpires who are bad umpires. We are aware of who you are. We have talked about you. If you go Google MLB Bad Umpires, your name is number one at the top of every list. Every list. Every single list. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, MLB has had to come out and correct calls that you have made, right? You consistently botch calls in the field. I can't imagine there aren't pitchers who haven't woken up from nightmares. The nightmare being that they are pitching a game where you are behind the dish. I can't imagine. Do you remember, if you go all the way back to the distant past of April 24th of 2022, Angel Hernandez was calling a game between the Brew Crew and the Phillies. Kyle Schwarber was at the dish. I remember this like it was yesterday because I was so blown away at how god-awful it was. Schwarber is at the dish. It's a 3-2 count. The Phillies are trying to snap a losing streak. I believe it was Josh Hader on the hill who threw a ball that was a solid 2 to 2.5 inches off the plate outside. Angel Hernandez put his hand up in the air and rung up Schwarber on a called strike 3. Schwarber threw the bat down, turned around, and illustrated for Angel Hernandez just how bad that call was. Pointed out just how bad that call was. He said the first one was outside over here. The second one was outside over here. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was hilarious. Schwarber was furious. But there are other umpires, too, that are bad. CB Buckner is a terrible umpire. MLB players have named Buckner the worst umpire in baseball on 3 separate occasions. 3 separate occasions. Why? Because his strike zone is bigger than the plate. It's embarrassingly bad. We know about Doug Eddings. We know about Brian O'Nora. And I got news for you, Angel. Most of these dudes are white. And also bad at their jobs. Hernandez trying to turn, again, you know me. I'm soft-hearted. But Angel Hernandez trying to turn this into, they're coming after me because I'm a minority. No, they're not. They're coming after you because you are bad at your job, Angel Hernandez. You're bad at your job, and the evidence of you being bad at your job is literally on hours and 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 hours of film. You're bad at your job, my guy. Hours and 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 hours. Back after this on the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate.
I just took out the Father's Day golf cart thing. No, we don't need that.
Okay. The golf cart I just thought we needed because it's a live over at Charlie's. That's why I thought we needed it.
Well, it's disappointing, Keegan. I have not watched the this week's episode yet. Did date night with a girlfriend. She came back in town last night, so we were smoking the hookah out on the back porch. Decided to spend time with the loved one instead of watching Obi-Wan. Judge me as you will.
just do an email and send an email and just say what you need.
Okay.
Right on?
Thank you so much, man.
No worries.
Easy killer. Easy killer. This is all steel right here, buddy. Yeah, we're gonna go to the BMW Pro-Am after this, and then we got Brad Paisley tonight, and then I got my show tomorrow. I got my national show tomorrow. Tomorrow night, what are we doing?
55.
Yes, is the answer.
You do the show
From the house. Yeah. Yeah, they hooked me up. It's I do it over my laptop. It's a.
I did Babel
They
already.
basically have a
so
Zoom
I'm
meeting that they
definitely
pull the
here.
audio from and broadcast it.
So I need that.
We got that tomorrow. Sunday, I'm going to sleep until about noon, I think, and then just drink the rest of the day.
I was gonna go kayaking tomorrow down the river, but all this shit going.
Yeah. Have fun with that, pal. Don't text me if you need me.
Check out Unwritten from Odyssey and MLB. New episodes start June 1st. Find it on the Odyssey app or wherever.
1, 2.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being
Exit.
details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Granger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Kelly Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant cash offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you, it finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast.
I think I got them all.
While other companies might deliver a lot of hay,
Just gonna drop them somewhere.
Yep. Do what you got to do.
Just drop them here, and then I'll move them as I go. And then
Ben, welcome in, buddy. Happy Friday. That's right, Brandon. I had to break out the bra. Hey, listen, man. 8 in a row. You love to see it.
Ryan Horvath with BetQL helping you beat the books. Game 4 of the NBA Finals takes place. Celtics take a commanding 3-1 series lead. One player prop.
You didn't know this was coming when you agreed to fill in, did you?
No, but hey, man, it's good. It's good to be put on the spot because then you learn a lot.
That's right.
You got to learn real quick.
Learning experience.
2.5 assists. This has been Ryan Horvath helping you beat the books.
All right, I added a few minutes in here so I could get that done, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got them all. So we have 40, about a minute.
Okay.
All right. Hey, can you pause the stream real quick?
Yeah. Be right back, stream. Don't go anywhere. Lad, welcome in, buddy. Good morning. Glad to have you.
Always streaming wherever you are on the Odyssey app. The Fan Upstate Facebook.
The Rob Brown Show back on your radio. This is the Fan Upstate. Great to have you. Appreciate you coming along for the ride with us. Let me pull some sound here, if you don't mind, T2, from the audio folder, which I forgot to tell you I was going to do, so I'm telling you now.
I'm gonna get there right now. Hold on.
All good. I'll set it up first. So we had an interesting situation yesterday in the White Sox v. Dodgers game. Tony La Russa is the manager of the Chicago White Sox, and La Russa is already in hot water. There's a lot of White Sox fans ready to move on from him. Third segment where I'm saying this is not about baseball. Even though it's a baseball setup, stick with me. In a game against the Dodgers, who are, good at baseball, there was a spot where Tony La Russa decided to intentionally have his left-handed pitcher walk Trey Turner. Now, an intentional walk is part of the game of baseball. It happens, yeah? It happens. But what was interesting about this walk, well, I'll just let the guys call in the game. Do me a favor, hit me with clip 1A, if you don't mind me, please, here, T2. Trey Turner at the dish, and it went like this.
Now, wait a second.
They're going to intentionally walk him.
On 1 and 2?
Yep.
Can you explain that to me?
I would think you don't want Turner to do any more damage, and you want to take advantage of the lefty-lefty.
Typically, at 2 strikes, the league batting average is quite low.
Oh, yeah. It is that.
When was the last time you saw somebody intentionally walked on 1 and 2?
Doesn't happen often.
That is the greatest thing we have heard this week. The audio picked up of the fan in the stands shouting, "He's got 2 strikes, Tony!" Because he had 2 strikes. Freddie Freeman hit an RBI single in the 6th off left-hander Bennett Sousa. Sousa then put Trey Turner down to an 0-2 count. And on 0-2, he bounced a slider off the dirt for a wild pitch. Freddie Freeman goes to second. Now, if that's the situation that you are in when Trey Turner comes to the dish, right? Gets his AB, and Freddie Freeman had hit an RBI double and is standing on second, I got no issue with you walking him, right? Go ahead, intentionally walk him, set up a runners on first and second situation with Trey Turner, who has been struggling from the dish coming to the plate. But that's not what happened. Freddie Freeman was at first. Freddie Freeman got to second, but when Freddie Freeman was on second, there were already 2 strikes on Trey Turner. So he decides with a 1-2 count to walk Trey Turner. Again, Trey Turner got a hot bat right now. He's already done some damage. Already gotten a hit in this game, if I recall correctly. So Trey Turner gets walked to first. Max Muncy comes to the dish. Grab me clip 1B, if you don't mind, please, here, T2. Max Muncy comes to the dish, and predictably, this happens.
High fly ball the other way. Pollock's going back. It's gone! 3-run home run for Max Muncy. They put Trey Turner on intentionally with a 1-2 count, choosing to go Sousa Muncy, and he makes him pay with an opposite field 3-run shot. It's 10-5.
Max Muncy goes Max Munster and smacks it. Home run, 3-run shot. Freddie Freeman scores from second. Trey Turner scores from first. Max Muncy with the 3-run dinger. Now, Tony La Russa got questioned after the game. Grab me clip 1, if you don't mind, please, here, T2 Tim Snow. Tony La Russa was asked in the press conference, why did you walk him when he had a 2-strike count? Here's what La Russa had to say.
Can you explain the thought process on the intentional walk with
Turner?
Turner? At 1-2 on the count.
So let me ask you a question. Is there some question about whether that was a good move or not?
I guess at 1-2 is the question at the count.
Do you know what he hits against left-hand pitching with 1-0-1 or 2 strikes? Do you know what he hits? Well, do you know what Muncy hits with 2 strikes against a left-hand pitcher? I mean, is that really a question? Because it was 1 and 2? Turner was a strike left against a left-hander is not something you can avoid if you can. And we had an open base, and Muncy happened to be the guy behind him, and that's a better matchup. Here again, somebody disagrees. That's the beauty of this game. Welcome to it. But that wasn't a tough call.
My guy, there were 2 strikes. If Trey Turner had the best batting average in baseball history against left-handers with 2 strikes, which I don't know what that number is either. Yeah, I got no doubt that the White Sox have a guy in the locker room who knows that number, who went, Tony, when Trey Turner is up against lefties with a 2-strike count, he hits blank. Let's say he hits 333 against lefties with 2 strikes. That means there's a 1 in 3 chance he's going to get on, right? At best. At absolute career, maybe all-time best, 1 in 3 chance my guy gets on there, right? He's got 2 strikes. You have 2 outs. Go get the out, please. Go get the out. Go get the out. Because if he hits a single, right? If he hits a single, Freddie Freeman goes to second. He goes to first. You're in the same situation. You're in the same situation. If he hits a double, Freddie Freeman is not fast, all right? Unless that thing gets all the way out to the track, Freddie Freeman is not scoring on a double. In which case, now you got runners at second and third, and Muncy is still up. Granted, you lose the force out at any bag, but I'll trust my defense there. I understand Tony was playing the analytics game here. I get it. I get he was playing the numbers game. But even getting on base, even if you say Trey Turner's going to get on base, anything shy of a ball that hits the outfield wall, Freddie Freeman's not scoring from first. The guy isn't exactly known for his jets. You get what I'm saying, Tony? Listen, I'm fine with playing analytics, right? If in most situations you have a 60% chance of one thing happening or a 20% chance of one thing happening, you go with the 60% thing. And I want to break this down a little bit further in the next segment. But sometimes you just got to play baseball. I understand Max Muncy is not as good against lefties as a lefty as Trey Turner. I understand that Max Muncy has a lower season batting average than Trey Turner. I get all of that. I get that Trey Turner is good against lefties even with a 2-strike count. I get all that. But man, you got through a bad pitch, and all of a sudden you freak out about it. Not a great look. I want to talk numbers later on in the show. We'll get into those. I find it very, very interesting. We also got to get some college football in here later in the show. I got some NFL thoughts I want to share with you and more. Don't go anywhere. I'm Rob. He's T2. You're listening to The Rob Brown Show right here on the Fan Upstate.
Substance check. You think these umps would get a clue? Robots are coming for your job. Technology's good enough. We don't need you anymore. Why don't you stay in
I think I got them all. Just want to be sure
What?
that I got them all.
Oh, yeah. And look, if we need to come out of the break a minute late coming into the next hour, that's fine.
All right, I think I worked it out. We don't have to.
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Right, must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor our portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities and holders and loans.
A tradition of mine is to pick up at least one new college polo each year, and I'm always trying to find something that nobody else has. If you're a Clemson or South Carolina fan, let me tell you, Smith & James has the nicest looking team gear you've seen. It's fresh and unique, and you don't have to worry about everyone else having your shirts. Better yet, people
Three.
You got it. How do we know? Because we're wearing Smith & James, and they're asking us. Check out their collection today at smithandjames.com and stop by their stores in downtown Greer and on Verde Boulevard in Greenville.
This feature sponsored by Nixa. Leaving a child in a hot car can lead to their death very quickly. In 2021, 23 children died in hot cars due to heat stroke. Many of these incidents occurred when parents or caregivers simply forgot the child was in the car. Please set reminders on your cell phone or place something you'll need in the back seat. Always look for your baby before you lock.
We're all on this planet together. So join Odyssey and find your own thing. Don't buy plastic toys for your pet. Instead, look for natural materials like cotton, rope, wood, or bamboo. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
This feature sponsored by Dell. Dell Technologies advisors are here with tools and expertise to help you do incredible things. For a Latitude laptop, Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. There's an innovator in all of us. Find tech that suits you by calling a Dell Technologies advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. Individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely.
Paid for by Chaikin Analytics. Art Chaikin is someone you're supposed to hate. He spent 50 years on Wall Street helping to create the entire stock rating system. He's met everyone from Jim Cramer to Martha Stewart. And today, he's sharing an urgent warning to tell anyone who will listen. A very strange day is coming to America. In short, a massive and surprising new transition could determine the next group of millionaires while leaving 99% of the public even worse off than before, says Chaikin. If you want to be on the right side of the huge new shift that he predicts is coming to the market, you absolutely must consider buying one particular type of investment now, before it's too late, he says. To give you the full story, he posted the biggest prediction of his 50-year career online at stockmarketwarning.com/radio, along with the name and ticker symbol of the number one investment to buy right now. Go to stockmarketwarning.com/radio to learn more. Free of charge.
58.
Stockmarketwarning.com/radio.
In the past, the conversation around personal mental health has been virtually non-existent. Fortunately,
59.
up to the idea that talking about our emotions and experiences isn't something to be ashamed of. But even though the narrative has changed,
Man, we got all the Lightning fans in the house today. You love to see it.
we knew there had to be a better way to help people take care of themselves and to take the mystery and stigma out of therapy. That's where BetterHelp began.
I don't need that.
Co-founder of BetterHelp Online Therapy. Our mission is simple: find a way to make professional therapy accessible, affordable, and convenient for everyone. With BetterHelp, you can connect to a therapist by phone, video call, or even text message. You can contact your therapist when it's convenient for you. If the therapist isn't the right fit, you can switch anytime, because BetterHelp is designed with you in mind. See why over 2 million members have trusted BetterHelp for online therapy. Go to betterhelp.com/youfirst and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/youfirst.
Imagine a world with endless possibilities. I'm talking endless saving and endless hot showers. Yeah, you heard me right. Endless hot shower. With Navien, that dream is now a reality. Navien tankless water heaters deliver a continuous flow of hot water for as long as you need it. No waiting for a tank to reheat more water, wasting time and energy. The compact design saves you space and money in comparison to traditional tank water heaters. It's time to make the switch and make your hot water dreams come true. Visit tankless.
Got that one. I got those.
We heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public.
I got all of
So, the second
these.
thing about it,
Got all of these. All right, yeah. I'm very sure that I got them all. I'm just got to move all this stuff around.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is 6 regular rolls in one. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans, make sure to cast your vote for the official combo meal of MLB at DQ.com. With Tim Anderson's Burger and Blizzard Meal and Bryce Harper's Burger and Blizzard Meal, you just have to try both. Vote for your favorite at DQ.com. Happy tastes good.
I'm Mark Ryan. If you're like me, you're no interior decorator and you need a bit of help putting together an outfit that pops. I'm beyond grateful I met my friends at Smith & James Fine Men's Clothing because they make me look like I know what I'm doing. They'll help you find the best color combinations with slacks, shirts, polo suits, and so much more. There's nothing quite like surprising your sweetheart with a new get-up that has you looking your best. Check out their collection today at smithandjames.com and stop by their stores at 222 Trade Street in Greer or at their new location on Verde Boulevard in Greenville.
The
Upstate. WORD Spartanburg.
WFPZ the official sports voice of
All right, coming back.
Odyssey Station.
Man, check this out.
You're on official Rob Brown lockdown.
Represent Spring of Green.
Yeah. Manufactured locally for the Carolinas. This is the Rob Brown Show.
The Fan Upstate.
All right, let's get it. Hour number two. Wow, words are hard. Hour number 2 of the Rob Brown Show goes now. This is the Fan Upstate. I am Rob. My man T2 on the other side of the glass. Absolutely heavyweight fighting through it today. But we got a show to do, kids. We got work to do up in this bad boy. All right, I want to talk. I know this is a topic that bores some of you, but it is also a topic that if you are a sports fan, impacts you somehow, right? And that is the conversation of analytics in sports. I know Rob's a nerd and talking about math again. Hang out with me. Hang out with me. Because analytics is something that has become big in every sport. And I know a lot of people get upset with that, right? Like, why can't we just play baseball? Why can't we just play football? Here's the thing. If you are watching your favorite baseball and or football team play, you want to see them do what? Win. Win, 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 win. You want to see them get dubs, man. That's why we watch sports, right? We want to be entertained. We want to enjoy. We want to enjoy the entertainment. Of course we do. What's more entertaining than dubs, right? If your college football team is a wing T triple option team, the most boring style of football in the world, but they're turning in 11-1 seasons, you're probably good with it, right? You're probably good with it. For sure. Analytics, boiled down to it, is effectively studying the numbers, looking at the numbers, and coming up with what situations, what realities, what possible outcomes are most likely based on particular actions that you take. Now, analytics is not foolproof. If your analytics tell you that you have a 60% chance, which is your best chance of a positive outcome based on whatever, that still means there's a 40% chance that doing the smartest thing to do doesn't work, because that's how numbers work, right? So it makes sense to follow analytic. At its core, analytics are the most rational way to handle decision-making in the world of sports, right? If I have 2 bags of marbles, yes, I'm going to the classic 3rd grade math teacher example of bags of marbles because it's the best way to understand probability. If I've got 2 bags of marbles and I tell Tim Snow that he needs to select a red marble, and if he selects a red marble, I will give him a crisp $100 bill. And then I present 2 bags of marbles. And on the left, there are 10 marbles. And on the right, there are 10 marbles. And I tell Tim Snow that in the bag on the left are 6 red marbles and 4 blue marbles. And on the bag at the right, there are 2 red marbles and 8 blue marbles. And I asked Tim Snow to select a red marble for a $100 bill. Which bag are you going to take a marble out of, Tim? The one on the left with 6 red and 4 blue, or the one on the right with 2 red and 8 blue?
The one with 6 red.
Yes, because again, that's how numbers work.
Of course.
Now, does that mean that Tim Snow is going to pull a red marble? No, he's got a 40% chance of pulling a blue marble. That's a decent probability that he pulls the blue marble and is very, very mad.
How much does it cost to try?
It's a freebie. I got so much money. I'm just giving away hundos based on pulling marbles from a bag.
Then you got nothing to lose at that point.
Here's the thing. If I give Tim Snow the bag and he reaches into the bag that has 6 red and 4 blue and he pulls a blue marble, are any of you going to go, wow, he made a bad decision? Wow, he made the wrong call? Wow, he should have done better. He should have pulled from. No. Because that, again, is how numbers work. And you know that the only thing T2 can do in that situation is to give himself the best possible odds to pull a red marble. The best possible odds resulted, or the best possible odds were to pull a marble from the bag on the left, the one with 6 red and 4 blues. Does not mean it's going to work. It means it's the best possible opportunity he has to succeed there. That, at its core, is all analytics is. Nothing more, nothing less. It is giving yourself the best odds at success, with the understanding that the best odds at success may still not be great odds. And the best odds at success still do not mean that you are guaranteed to hit, right? Now, Tony La Russa looked at the analytics there and said, all right, this guy bets pretty well against left-handers, especially with 2 strikes on. I don't know that that's true. I am working under the assumption that I am giving Tony La Russa the benefit of the doubt here. But let's also say that the best batting average in baseball history is what? 335, 333 for a season, right? In fact, you know what? I'm curious. I'm going to look it up. Best single season batting average all time. Okay, if we go, I'm going to go modern era because there were dudes back in like the 1900s that were hitting well up north of 400. Let me see if I can find here. Let me give you the names that are at the top of this list, right? And again, for most of these, you're going back to the 18 and 1900s. Nap LaJoy, best single season MLB average in history, post 1900 is 1900. Nap LaJoy hit a 426. Here are the other names at the top of that list: Roger Hornsby, Ty Cobb, George Sisler, Ty Cobb, Joe Jackson, George Sisler, Ted Williams, Harry Heilman, Roger Hornsby, Bill Terry, Ty Cobb, Roger Hornsby, the greatest hitters, all of these guys born before the year 1900, right? To get to Babe Ruth, you got to get down to like number 22 on the list. In fact, I am looking down through the top 50. Through the top 50, almost every one of them, including my favorite name on this list, born in 1987, Lefty O'Doul. That's my new wrestling name, Lefty O'Doul. Love it. Archie Vaughn batted .385, born 1912. Tris Speaker, born 1888, hit a .386, right? The best in the modern era is in the neighborhood of .335, which means that Trey Turner has a 1 in 3 chance of getting on board. 1 in 3. That means you, as the White Sox, have a 2 in 3 chance of him not doing that, right? You already got good odds. You're looking at a 66-ish% chance of Trey Turner not getting on board. But let's say he does 1 in 3. Let's say he takes the 1 in 3. Let's say he draws the red marble and he gets on board. Anything but a liner out to the wall, Freddie Freeman's not scoring, right? If he gets a double. Oh, and by the way, keep in mind that a lot of balls that would be singles for Trey Turner keep Freddie Freeman at second base, right? A single for Trey Turner does not guarantee that Freddie Freeman's getting a third. If he hits one at the shortstop that goes between short and third into shallow left, and that left fielder is on the ball, Freddie Freeman's trapped at second. Now, you have the exact same circumstances. Muncy at the dish, Freeman at second, Turner on first. If Muncy does hit a single that advances Freddie Freeman, then it's Freddie on third, Trey on first, Max at the dish. You've got almost the exact same situation. Force at second, force at first, and a guy who does not hit well against lefties at the dish. The only thing that could have gone sideways for the White Sox there is if Trey Turner hits a double or better and Freddie Freeman runs as fast as he's ever run. Maybe he scores, right? Here's the thing. I am good with analytics. In fact, I am great with analytics being used. I want my team using analytics. I want them to know the statistical probability of every decision they make, right? We all make statistical probability decisions all the time. You may not think that you do, but you do. You constantly think, what are my odds of success here? And sometimes your odds of success might be low and you decide to take the shot anyway, but at least you know what your odds are going into it, right? Of course, I'm good with analytics. If my guys know that this decision gives me a 60% chance of success, and this other decision gives me a 40% chance of success, I'm going that direction. Now, T2 pulls out of bag number 1 with 6 red and 4 blue, and he pulls a blue. Had he gone to bag number 2, maybe he pulls the red. We'll never know. Right? That's sports. We'll never know. You can't rewind and go, we'd like to try that again, making a different decision. I am good with analytics. What I am not good with, when it comes to analytics, is guys utilizing analytics in order to make bad decisions. I think all Tony looked at was the batting average, right? The batting average of Trey Turner against lefties with 2 strikes. And again, let's say it's .335, 1 out of 3. I think he looked at the batting average. Well, what's a batting average? How many times you get on base, right? Factoring out the walks, factoring out the errors, adding in hits, strikeout rate, etc. It's an average how many times you get on base. But I don't think what La Russa considered there was him getting on base is not necessarily bad. You know how I know that he didn't consider that? Because he decided to walk him anyway, which is what? We're going to give you a single without making you earn it, right? Most likely outcome, if there's a hit involved, is that Trey Turner's getting a single. You have to factor in that conversation if you were Tony La Russa, right? This is a surface level decision. Surface level says he's got a 1 in 3 chance of getting a hit here. And that is pretty damn good. We want to avoid that if we can, which I understand. I get that. I understand that. We want to avoid him getting a hit here if we can. What was not factored in, at least I don't think, was how many different hit types there are and how many of them are still either A, bad, or B, end up in the same situation you put yourself in by walking him. He had 2 strikes. On top of all of that, I will tell you one other thing that I wish analytics people would put into play more. And that is the psychological results you have on your team. Imagine being Bennett Sousa. Imagine putting Trey Turner in an 0-2 count on 2 pitches. 2 pitches, he's got him 0-2. Third pitch throws the slider. It gets away from him for a wild pitch, but it's 1 pitch. He's still got him 1-2, right? 1-2. If you're Bennett Sousa and you look over and La Russa gives you the tap to tell you go ahead and intentionally walk this cat, how does that not immediately kill your psychological edge, right? Coach doesn't think I can get this guy. Coach doesn't think that I can K this cat. Coach doesn't trust me with the baseball here. You might be the most stalwart of all the pitchers in Major League Baseball. But if your coach straight up tells you, as Tony La Russa did, we do not trust you to be able to get the out here. We don't believe you can get this guy. It's going to ding the confidence a little bit. Analytics are good. They are big. And they are a chunk of why you should make a decision. But La Russa made a bad one without considering all of the other variables in play. La Russa outsmarted himself in that situation, and it cost him. We come back. No more talk about marbles, bags, numbers, and analytics. You've sat through enough. Take a break. The Rob Brown Show rolls on. This is the Fan Upstate. oh, I've been doing a terrible job. The people on the stream are missing a hell of a show. You're back. You pile all of these comments that were made by Paul Finebaum earlier in the week. He said those things I just said. If you missed it on the stream, I apologize. You pile that on to what Paul Finebaum said back at the end of 2019 when he said, quote, I think Dabo Swinney is the most annoying winner in all of sports. I mean, the guy just can't keep his trap shut. Somebody just give the man a pacifier, send him to timeout, and we'll check in with him on December 28th when he finally plays a legitimate team during this entire college football season, end quote. Of course, Clemson would go on to beat Ohio State that year and then play against LSU in the title game. Didn't go well for them, but they did. Guys, I know that I am doing what Finebaum wants by talking about him on the air. Okay? I know I am. And I know that even I have criticized to some degree Dabo Swinney in the past by saying that I think he comes across as a little bit, I don't know, petulant in some situations. But let me defend him here. I have also said one thing consistently about Dabo, both before I got here and now that I am here. And what I've said is this. I may view Dabo Swinney occasionally as a little bit petulant. I may view him occasionally as a guy who maybe goes off the rails a bit with some of the problems he has with college football. You know what else I recognize? Dabo Swinney is the patriarch of an organization that has been pretty good, right? Not everybody's going to agree with anything you say or with everything you say. For me, not anybody agrees with anything I say. Not everybody's going to agree with everything you say. The key to being successful is to surround yourself with people who believe in you and then to lead them efficiently. Anybody want to argue Dabo hasn't done that, right? Does anybody want to make the argument Dabo hasn't done that? Let me tell you why Paul Finebaum has to do this. Paul Finebaum's a shill, all right? He's a mouthpiece for the Southeastern Conference. I'm not saying it's bad. He gets a lot of money to do it. He does. Let me drop you a soundbite. I'm going to go ahead and tell you to save right now, and you can put me feet to the fire at some point in my future. If somebody wants to pay me to be a mouthpiece of their organization and they want to pay me as much as Finebaum's getting, I'll take it. And I will be the biggest shill in the game. All right? You pay me Finebaum money, I'll be the biggest shill in the game. No doubt about it. That's what he's doing here, right? He has to, especially now that the SEC post-spring meetings is discussing an SEC-only playoff, SEC-only postseason as a possibility. Paul, working for ESPN, has to inflate the value of the SEC however he can. So, of course, he's going to pick the SEC coach over the ACC coach. That's like duh. And, of course, he's going to insult the ACC coach as often as he can. Why? Because he needs to make it like the ACC, the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the Pac-12 are minor leagues. Because if he makes it seem like they are minor leagues, then the SEC's value goes up. And that's what he gets paid for. He is not a columnist. He is not a talk radio host. He is a public relations man and nothing else. He is a PR guy. How does he get all those contacts? Because he's a PR guy. The first thing you do when you hire a PR guy is give them all the contacts of the people they need to talk to push PR. That's what Paul is. So Clemson fans, I implore you, don't go react to this. Don't go on Twitter and tweet mean things. Don't quote tweet him. Don't go on Facebook and respond to his post, because that is exactly what the game is. And you're falling for it if you do. Take a break. I'm back after this on The Rob Brown Show. It's the Fan Upstate.
What is that? Why is there an imager after this?
In college baseball, the Super Regionals get started today with top-seeded Tennessee facing off with Notre Dame in Knoxville, Virginia Tech hosting Oklahoma, and East Carolina battling the Texas Longhorns in Austin. On Saturday,
All right, we have, so that's going to be 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 30, 45. There's no 15-second promos in here?
There's what?
Like 15-second liners or something?
There should be.
I am 6.
I couldn't tell you where to find them.
Oh, it helps if I type it in, right? Guest rejoins, and then offsides. Don't shoot.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Services text line. 71307. Keyword. The Ron Brown Show. Listen on your computer and tablet at thefanupstate.com.
No drugs and no downtime. So stop putting it off. Call QC Kinetics now to learn more about regenerative medicine and get a totally free in-office consultation. Call 864-448-3772 with locations in Greenville and Asheville. 864-448-3772.
From the Ingles Market Studio.
97.1 FM Spartanburg. There's actually a simple solution.
What's cracking? It's Rome here. Playmakers, you know it. Mark Ryan, Rob Brown,
Yeah, sorry about that, Steven. You know, I gotta turn the audio off when I gotta go off the air for T2 and I to talk or to hit the stream or whatever, and I probably just missed the button when I came back. That's on me. Sorry about that, buddy. You know I love you guys. You know I love you guys. All right, there's the liners. Just need, to get rid of that 30.
If your vehicle squeals or grinds when you slow down or just isn't stopping like it used to, you may need new brake rotors and pads. Now through June 28th at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 15% off a set of Brake Best Select or Import Direct brake pads and 2 rotors. Restore safe braking and save money now at O'Reilly. Order online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
Technology allows us to manage everything from our wrists.
Get the fly swatter.
Not necessary. My smartwatch will take care of it. But to manage all your clouds, you need more than technology. You need a VMware cross-cloud services solution orchestrated by CDW to simplify workflows, speed innovation, and secure all your applications across any cloud.
Does your watch tell time?
2 minutes, 15 seconds. Ugh.
Welcome to Allstate, where we bring it all together. And bundling your home and auto is good, right? And it saves you up to 25%. It all comes together. Allstate, here, better a whole lot less.
We both did the same thing.
Oh, but sorry.
Yeah, when the beat came in, we were just like. I should start making more of those. I wonder if I make a bunch of them, send them to Mark, if they'll use them.
Bumpers?
Yeah, but like ones that I actually make, like that are original. I made one for my podcast when I was doing that. It was pretty dope. I'll show it to you in a minute. I got time. Probably do it real quick. View. Hear it? It's only like 15 seconds.
Oh, I like it.
That was for my podcast. I put an ATL snare in here. Listen. You know, back in like 07, the ATL stuff, they always had those snares in. I was like, I gotta do it. Yeah, I made that one. I'm gonna keep, I need to jump back into music stuff again. I haven't been doing it because... Oh, coming back.
I get frustrated with guys like Finebaum sometimes. And I acknowledge what Paul Finebaum is. I acknowledge his station in this business. The guy is an icon. The guy's been doing it for a long time. And I almost kind of hesitate to talk about how I don't like the way he does it, because clearly y'all do. I say y'all, I mean sports talk, broadcast, consumers. Like I sit here and I'm like, I can't do that, right? Like I can't do that. I can't talk and broadcast the way he does. It's not my style. I can't do it. It doesn't feel genuine to me. But at the same time, I cannot ignore the success of a guy like Paul Finebaum. I cannot ignore the success that he's had regionally across the Southeast. And I get it, right? Here's the theory that I've carried in radio for a very long time. There are exceptions to the rule, but as a rule of thumb, there are 3 types of guys in radio, right? There's 3 types of guys in radio. With some exceptions, which I consider myself one. I'm special. I'm unique. My mom told me so. There are 3 types of guys in radio. Guy number 3 is stat guy, right? Stat guy is the guy that knows stats. He's the dude that when you bring up that college football team winning the national championship, he's going to break that game down for you. He's going to X's and O's that game around for you. Guy number 2 in radio is the world is out to get you, and I am here to protect you from it, right? It's a very tribalistic stance. He convinces you that everybody who doesn't share whatever your feelings on the topic at hand, sports, politics, religion, whatever, everybody who does not agree with you is out to get you. And I am the only one speaking out to protect you. T2's about to snap his neck, shaking his head yes, because he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Everybody who, and I'm going to go ahead and get myself in trouble here. A lot of political talk radios, guys and gals, are like this, right? These people think different from you. They are dangerous and out to get you, and only I am here to give your voice time on the air. It's only me that is protecting you from all of the bad guys out there.
There is definitely a Messiah complex there. Yeah.
I am here to protect. That's what Paul is, right? That's what Paul is. Paul is the guy that looks the SEC fans in the face. And the minute that there is a threat from a Dabo or a Ryan Day or a Lincoln Riley, he starts attacking them, right? Why? Because Paul has a niche audience, but it is a big one. Paul tells the SEC fans, the whole world hates you, and I am here to be your voice. The whole world hates you, and I am here to speak on your behalf, to give you a place to go to where it can be just us. And that's what Paul provides, right? He provides a show. He provides a safe space for SEC fans. He provides a place where SEC fans can be around only other SEC fans. Again, this is not only prevalent in sports radio. It happens in political radio. It happens in conversations about religion. It happens in conversation about finances. It happens in industrial conversations. Any conversation you want. There are places that are built so that only people who think alike are allowed to be together. And they're going to tell you everybody outside of that bubble is bad and out to get you.
Just for the sake of argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for any other reason.
And that's what Paul does. That's what Paul Finebaum does. He built a safe space for SEC fans. And by the way, in the years of, and this is not me kissing butt, because I've gone after you as well. Of the SEC schools that I have spent time broadcasting around, which include LSU, it includes Alabama and Auburn, it includes Mississippi and Mississippi State, it includes Florida, and it includes Georgia. I have broadcasted in or around the cities those campuses are contained within. South Carolina is the least SEC school I've ever been around, right? You guys are the least it's about the conference school I've ever been around. For you guys, it's about the school first. You go to Ole Miss, you go to Mississippi State, they love to hell to chant out of some SEC. Bama and Auburn do it. Bama probably less than Auburn. And I've seen other schools do it too. LSU does it to some degree, not as bad either. But SEC fans have their tribe, and they built their safe space where the SEC is king, everybody else is irrelevant and shouldn't be talked about, and we just want to hang out with each other and talk about how great we are. And Finebaum took that, and he made it a radio show. And it works. Because again, all of those people that want to live in that safe space run to that safe space. They dwell in that safe space with other people who want to be in that safe space. And then Paul just tells them while they're in that safe space where there are no Ohio State fans or Clemson fans to come in and go, let me add a little levity to this conversation. Paul sits in a room with all the SEC fans that have come to him for a safe space, and he says, hey, Ohio State, they're out to get you. Clemson, they're out to get you. And their coaches are bad, and their players are bad. They're doing this, that, and the other. Might be happening in the conference. He's not going to bring that up, right? So Clemson fans, when you hear Paul Finebaum going off and saying stuff like he did, like Dabo Swinney is a bad winner and a bad winner and a terrible loser, recognize he's doing and saying that for a reason. He's doing and he's saying it so that the other SEC fans in their safe space with Paul Finebaum can then look and go, yeah, Dabo bad, Clemson bad. And then have Paul continue to push that for him. That's it. That's all it comes down to. That's the whole style of radio. It is, you are safe here. Everybody else outside of our circle is bad and trying to get you, and I am going to use my voice as your shield from the evil. That's it. I said it's overt in radio. Why? Because we as human beings are evolved to be tribalistic. We are tribalistic. We are a social species, but we are a tribalistic social species. Those that are with and near me are good. Those that are outside of that circle are not to be trusted. And we all do it. We all do it. It takes growth to learn to trust people outside of your circle. It takes growth to learn to let people from outside of your circle have some power. It takes growth. It takes maturity to do that. And we all run back to our tribes when things goes wrong. When something goes wrong, Tim, in your life, when something goes bad for you, who are the first people that you talk to get it off your chest?
My family.
You're damn right. You're damn right.
My wife, my kids.
Let me ask you a question. Are your wife and kids, when things got screwy this morning and you had a rough day, are your wife and kids the logically best people to talk to in that situation?
No.
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 No, of course not. They can't help, right? And I'm not saying that disrespectfully. Tim's wife's not a radio person. Tim's kids aren't radio people. They can't come in here and go, okay, here's some of the problems. Let's work through this. The best people to talk to are Hendrix and JD and all that.
Yeah, the people that work here.
Right. But they're not your tribe. I mean, they're your work tribe. And you'll go to them with work things that are happening in the moment. But when you need to vent about something chaotic that went on, you call your wife and kids.
You know, it's funny you say that because I used to tell my wife that all the time. Like, you know, because she was all like nervous that on job hunting and stuff like that after she got her degree. And I said, look, as long as you try, I'm going to be right there with you.
You're tribalistic. They're going to come see
Like,
you.
if you fail, that's what we're here for. We're here for you to, you know, if you fail, I'm always going to be here. You know,
we are tribalistic entities. We are social and tribalistic entities. We come back to those that are in the same tribe as us. Well, Paul just created an SEC tribe that then said everybody outside of this is bad and not good and out to get you. And we're here to, I'm here to defend you from that. And it worked. So Clemson fans, don't take great offense to the ridiculous comments of Paul Finebaum, because all he's trying to do is rile up his SEC base and get them more excited about themselves. All right, quick break. We're back after this. Hour number 3 is up next on the Rob Brown Show. This is the Fan Upstate.
Oh yeah, that's the bottom of that hour.
The future will be
All right. Trey, what a line. What a line.
I was a total type A business geek, crunching spreadsheets for my accounting. Today, my fifth successful business, Patriot Software, makes accounting simple for accountants and non-accountants alike, eliminating the need for many of us business geeks to crunch spreadsheets or wear formal business attire ever again. Go to patriotsoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of accounting software free. That's patriotsoftware.com. Accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
These days, it's getting harder and harder to find savings. But you may have more cash than you realize in your home's equity. Unlock it today with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage. In the last year, average home values have gone up nearly 20%. That means you could unlock thousands of dollars from your home. And with Rocket Mortgage, you could get all
Oh,
good
Lord.
Put your hard-earned money to work. Pay down high-interest debt and combine your balances into one simple, low monthly payment. Now is your perfect opportunity to take control of your financial future. So what are you waiting for? When you want to consolidate and simplify your finances, Rocket can. Call 8338-ROCKET today or go to
58.
rocketmortgage.com to get started. That's 8338.
How did I not time this right? I know what I did in my head. I think I overthink it sometimes.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Have you heard about HIMS? Apparently they take the awkwardness out of treating ED, and the process is really straightforward.
HIMS? Yeah, my buddy gets his ED meds through them. Said their online process is much simpler than going
There we
to
go.
a
That's
doctor's
a
office.
minute.
Oh yeah, their entire process is only a few steps, and they only
I
ship ED
need
meds from certified
30.
pharmacies in the U.S. that are 100% FDA approved. All you got to do is go to forhims.com/radio. You just answer a few questions, select your treatment preferences, and fill out some health information. Then a healthcare provider reviews the info and determines which medication, if any, is right for you. If it's prescribed, it ships free right to your door.
I think I'm going to check
The
these HIMS guys
liner
out.
And
here.
get this, the ED medication I was prescribed is 90% cheaper than Viagra and has the same active ingredient.
There we
I can
go.
finally satisfy my partner.
For a free online consultation, go to forhims.com/radio. That's forhims.com/radio.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to get conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
Babbel's interactive lessons are created by real language teachers and voiced by real native speakers using a modern conversation-based method. So in no time, you'll be speaking
Yeah, it was
confidently
15
about
seconds
real-life
too
topics in
much.
another language.
Or no,
Nosotras vamos a
30
México
seconds
en
too
2
much.
días y ahora hablamos español. Gracias, Babbel. Sí, muchas
That's all right.
gracias.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at babbel.com. Just go to babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Nature Valley has helped restore access to 10,000 miles of national park trails, and we're on our way to restoring even more because every mile is a new memory. Life happens out there. Nature Valley.
All right, coming back.
The third, the final, the best, the money hour of the Rob Brown Show goes now. This is the Rob Brown Show. Welcome in, my friends. Great to be with you for one more go at it. We are set for NBA Finals game number 4. That is coming up this evening at 9 p.m. Very much looking forward to this one, although I've got to tell you, I said this back on, what day was it? Wednesday? Good Lord, how wrong I was about Game 3. I really was. I'm not saying the Warriors don't win another game, but my goodness, they've that was terrible. It was terrible. I don't get it. I don't understand what happened. I don't understand how it happened. I don't understand how the Celtics went from getting thrown around in Game 2 to doing the throwing around in Game 3. I don't understand how it was that the Warriors looked so dominant in Game 2, and then in Game 3 just looked like a bad basketball team, right? Now, one thing we have not seen a lot of people talk about so far. The foul trouble hit the Warriors, and it hit them hard. And I don't think they were prepared for that, right? Like I don't think they were ready for that. Steph picked up a couple quick ones early in the game. Once he picked up a couple of quick ones early in the game, he had to exit. The Warriors had to play significant minutes without Steph Curry. And I don't think that I'm going to shock anybody by saying that when Steph Curry is not on the basketball court, the Warriors are less good at basketballing, right? Anybody blown away by that? Show of hands? No? Didn't think so. So Steph having to exit the game quick with a couple early in the first. One thing the Warriors want to do is they want to put a blitz on you early and make you change up the way you play your game in order to climb back into it, right? They want to get Steph white hot early. They want to put up a bunch of points on you. They want to make you play sprint-style basketball with them early and make you change your game. Steph going out with a couple of fouls prevented them from doing that. So they got locked into playing Celtics basketball. They got locked into playing the game the way that Boston wanted to play the game. And when they got locked into playing the game the way that Boston wanted to play the game, they could not respond. Now, third quarter. And by the way, I have been watching basketball a very long time. Anybody got a guess as to why it is that the Boston Celtics cannot figure out how to play in the third quarter, right? They were keeping a lead against Golden State between 12 and 15 points going to halftime. Came out in the third quarter, and when they got out in the third quarter, they just got ran again. They get ran in every third quarter. At one point, the Warriors cut the lead down to 2. And when they got the lead down to 2, I'm like, that's what we've been waiting on. That's what we wanted. That's what we needed. And then the fourth quarter starts, and the Celtics just started being what they were in the first half again after the Warriors closed it down to 2. Warriors got it down to 2. I sat back on the couch. I was smug. I'm like, there it is. That's the run I told everybody was going to happen. By the way, 3 games. Draymond Green has 15 personal fouls. You know how many points he's got? He's got 15 points. Now, I have no issue with Draymond Green doing his podcast. I've got no interest with him hitting ESPN up and doing segments with them. I've got no issue with Draymond talking about Draymond a lot of times, a lot of places, in a lot of ways. No issue with that at all. But, my guy, Draymond, hear me out, man. I need you to do me a favor. Show the hell up tonight, guy. Show up. You had 10 total positive impacts on that game last week. You had points, assists, blocks, rebounds, steals, all added together, you had 10. That ain't going to get it. From a guy that's going on the podcast to talk about how great you guys are, that ain't going to get it. Do I think that Draymond Green's podcast, we talked about this a little bit when it dropped. Did Draymond doing a podcast set his teammates up to fail? Yes and no. No. And that Draymond wasn't giving away X's and O's. Draymond wasn't not focused on basketball. Yes. And that Draymond probably fired up the Celtics, right? Not to go out there and fight him, but fired up the Celtics to go out there and go, don't let this guy bully us, right? Don't let him climb in our heads. Don't let him be in control of how we're playing the damn game. Let's go out there and be us. And don't let Draymond get into our heads and change the way that we play basketball. Because that's what he did in game 2, and it worked. And I believed in it, right? I came in here the morning after game 2 and said, it's over. Dubs in 6. Boston will get one more. Now I got to think Celtics in 6, right? Now I got to think that the Vegas odds-on betting underdogs are going to be taking this thing in 6. Unless Golden State comes out and does another game 2 performance, in which case I'll jump on social media tonight and say, I don't know a damn thing about basketball because I don't get it. I don't see Boston falling apart, right? Boston's got momentum. Boston's got confidence. I think Draymond told them what to expect. I think they listened to him. They got away from that. They didn't let the Warriors put that game plan into effect. They didn't let Draymond put that into effect. They largely ignored Draymond Green. This is like Draymond, dude, again, steals, assists, rebounds, blocks, points, all added together, you had 10 total. You had 10 total. You're not a threat, my guy, right? Once the bully shows you that they don't have a punch, once the bully's done shoving you into lockers and then they tell you that's all they've got, you ignore them. You ignore them. You go play the game around them. That's what's happened to Draymond, man. I'm not saying Draymond's a bad basketball player. I'm saying he had a crap game 3 for a guy that was on the mic a lot leading up to it. So I expect that Boston's going to do what they did in game number 2. Or sorry, game 3. Ignore Draymond. If Draymond grabs you by the jersey and throws you to the ground, get up, dust off, move on. If Draymond hooks you in the chin, rebounding a free throw, go the other way, get the ball, move on. If you go up for a layup and Draymond hard fouls you by the rack, ignore it, move on, right? Boston did that last game. I think they do it again here. But like I said, the difference from 1 to 2 and the difference from 2 to 3, 2 of those 3 have gone the way of the Boston Celtics. After game 1 that Boston won, I gave a lot of reasons I thought it happened. Oh, well, the Warriors had a little bit more rest. They're an offensive team. It's going to take an offensive team longer to get in sync with each other. Boston, on the other hand, just played a 7-game series. While they might be a little more beat up, they are ready to bang because Miami was fighting them. All of that was wrong. All of that was wrong. Every bit of it was wrong. And yeah, it was a little bit shocking, right? It was a little bit shocking. So we got game number 4 tonight. This one's in Boston. First and foremost, Steph Curry has said he's available to play game 4. If Steph Curry's anything less than 100%, we're going back to Golden State with Boston up 3-1, right? We're going back up to going over to Golden State with the Celtics up 3-1 facing elimination. By the way, the Vegas line is open. Boston is minus 175 on the money line. Golden State plus 145. That is to say, if you want to bet Boston to win this game outright, you got to bet $175 to get $100 back. If you bet $100 on the Warriors, you're getting $145 back if they win. It felt after game 1 like the Celtics stole that game, right? It felt like they stole that game. And then the Warriors dominated game 2 by smoking them in the third quarter again. And through those 2 games, Golden State remained a series favorite. But then Boston bullied the Warriors on Wednesday in game 3. And here's the deal. Boston has proven to be bigger than Golden State, stronger than Golden State, faster than Golden State, nastier than Golden State, and now Vegas has them favored to win this series. Draymond Green was a difference maker in game 2. In game number 3, he played like boat. Those are his words that I changed to, not mine. Draymond's not the same guy. Robert Williams, on the other hand, who is younger, taller, and heavier than Draymond, is not backing down from that guy, and it changes the game up. It changes the game up. By the way, I went and looked at The Athletic, who put out their projections. The Athletic has 7 guys that cover basketball for them. All of them picked the C's straight up tonight. And so do I. There's no way Steph is 100%. If he was, we wouldn't be talking about it. Steph is not 100%. Draymond is going to overdo it, right? He's going to try to make up for being a sack of wet potatoes last game. So he's going to overdo it. It's effectively up to Klay Thompson. And while I love Klay, I'm glad he made it back. Heck of a story. Glad he had a good game in game number 2. Klay's a 25-point guy. He will match Jalen or Jason, but not both. And if you can't match both, you're in trouble. You need both of those guys. And Steph's not coming back. If he is, he's not 100%. Back after this on the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate.
But at the same time, I probably wouldn't have known until I got here.
You wouldn't have. There would have been no way to. All right, what the hell? I talked about a bunch of other stuff you guys don't care about. Phone line's open, 844-FAN-PHONE, 844-FAN-FONE, 844-326-3663. Preferred home services text line there for you as well. 71307, 71307. Start your text with FAN, F-A-N, FAN, and we'll read them on the air. Group B for the FIFA World Cup includes the United States. It is officially set now as Wales knocked off the Ukraine in their playoff final. Wales makes the World Cup for the first time in 64 years. We are fortunately, it feels like for the first time in ever, not in a group that is considered the level of a group of death. However, it is not going to be a cakewalk for the Americans to make it into the knockout stage. Game number 1 for the United States in the World Cup will take place November 21st at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then game number 2, that's going to be against Wales, by the way, which, by the way, I got a little laugh because my nephew says that he thinks we're playing against actual whales, and it's adorable. It really is. I'm like, no, we're playing Christian Bale, and he's good, but he's not an actual whale. Texter says, my friend doesn't believe we can text you. Can you say hi to Graham? Every time you guys ask me to say a name, I have to say the name 8 times in my head to make sure you aren't sending me a prank name. So I'm just going to say hey to Graham. Graham K is what I'm going to call you. Because while I don't feel like there is a prank name in this text, I have also not felt like there are prank names in text that I've read that turned out to totally be prank names. So, Graham K, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the Rob Brown Show Armada. Great to have you listening. Yes, you can actively text the show. Have at. All right, Group 1 against Wales, November 21st. Game 2, that's the Black Friday game we were talking to Stoneman about earlier in the show. That one is going to be on Black Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 1 on a Monday. Game number 2 on Black Friday, November 25th. That one is going to be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then game number 3 against Iran will be the following Tuesday. That is going to be at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time against Iran. Iran so far away. U.S. versus Wales should be a favorite in that one. We have met Wales twice in international friendlies, but that's it. The Americans knocked off Wales back in May of 2003, a 2-0 win. Played again, however, just 2 years ago in 2020. That game ended in a scoreless draw. The Americans should theoretically be favored in that game, but Wales, the country, not the animals, Wales are the emotional underdogs here. First time in 64 years that they have been. They had to beat a very stubborn Ukraine team in order to advance and get there. And like I said, Christian Bale in the middle is a good player, probably one of the few from that Wales team that it is going to be hard to contend with. We are going to need the strikers to show up. That is I'm going to go ahead and call it. That's a must-win game, all right? That game's a must-win game. Iran is a must-win game. You have to do it. We have faced Iran twice, once in a World Cup, the other in a friendly. However, we have not beaten them. All the way back in 98, Iran won 2-1 as the U.S. lost every single group stage game that year. 2 years later, played a friendly to a 1-1 draw. With this being the final group game for the U.S. in 2022, it obviously could have huge implications. What would I like to happen? What I would love to happen is to get 3 against Wales, to get 1 against England, and to go into a game against Iran where all we need is a tie. All we need is a draw. Play for a draw against Iran. I'd love to be able to win that match. I'd love to go out there and build some solid nerve going into the knockout phase. But take 3 against Wales, get 1 against England, and hopefully you get some help to where a single point moves us out of the knockout round, or I should say moves us into the knockout round out of the group play. This group is, again, not a group of death, but it is very good. As for the FIFA World Rankings, England 5, US 13, Wales 18, Iran 21. Listen, Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey, Daniel James, best players that Wales has. Those are the 3 we're going to keep an eye on. What is going to happen for the Americans? I need the guys up front to play well. Why? 2 reasons. Number 1, this is a group that is going to 1 goal in games. I do not think is going to be enough, right? One goal a game is not going to be enough. You're going to need to be able to score 2 in a game. Second thing is, unless something changes between here and there, right? Unless something changes between here and there, the back line has been the fat question mark for the Americans. The back line has gotten out of sorts. They get over aggressive. They get out of position. That's bad. That's bad. You've got to make up for that by keeping longer runs of possession so the defense faces less opportunities. The Pulisics, the McKinneys, the Aaronsons, the Mooses, the Weahs. I need those guys pushing the ball. I need possession. Can the U.S. make it out of Group B? That's the question I've gotten asked a couple of times. And the answer is, yeah. Yeah. The U.S. finally rolled over the roster and have decided to go young, right? Last World Cup qualification, we had a lot of the old vets on there. We did not make it in. It was painful at the least in 2018. Now, they go young. The problem with going young is that the young doesn't have a striker we can trust. I don't know who the guy is. Jesus Ferreira is 21 years old. He has been the main number 9, but guy is setting up to be a creator, not a finisher. Haji Wright, 24 years old, scored a PK in his debut against Morocco, but I wouldn't say was ultimately expertly creative with the ball. So we've got to find who is going to pair up with Zimmerman in the center back, and we got to find who is going to be the guy that we can push forward. I'm not super worried about the goalies, whether it's Turner Johnson or Steffen. All 3 have fought for the number 1 spot in recent matches. I assume all 3 will be in Qatar. I think you can trust that one of those 3 guys is going to step up and be the guy. But who is the number 9? Who's the guy? Who's the guy that's going to go in the box and finish opportunities when they're there? That's going to be there to collect, to turn, to shoot, and to finish. Because we don't have that guy. I hope it's Ferreira. Christian Pulisic pushed heavy for Haji Wright to get more time. I hope Haji Wright's in there. But regardless, we got to find somebody. You got to find somebody. And if we don't have that finisher up top, it doesn't matter how bad the back line is. It doesn't matter how good the midfielders are. If we can't finish, we're in trouble. Like, trouble. We'll talk more about it as we get closer to November. That's so far away. Take a break. Back after this. We'll wrap this thing up next on the Rob Brown Show on the Fan Upstate. I agree. We'll grab a Red Bull, pardon me, stream. All right, ladies and gentlemen, final segment of the show, final segment of the week. Heading out to the BMW Pro-Am after this. Spend a little time out there on the course. I will also be this evening out at the Brad Paisley concert in, what is it, Simpsonville, I think. Really looking, I love Brad Paisley. Guy can shred.
I'm thinking about taking up golf. I want to start playing it.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, it will be. You will hate it because of how much you love it.
Oh no, I've played it before.
It's amazing. It's a great game. It's a blast.
I just never played it consistently.
Maddeningly frustrating. Yeah, because it's frustrating as hell, right? If you're like me, the things you do the most consistently are the things you're good at, right? Like once you get good at something, you're like, I enjoy doing this thing. Nobody enjoys sucking at a thing, even though you have to suck at a thing to eventually be good at the thing.
Well, that's like skateboarding. Skateboarding's the same way. You don't land every trick, and
Yeah,
it does get frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, even the best golfers in the world still shank one occasionally. But
Yeah.
I like golf because for me, man, I can shoot a 95, but I had like 8 beers and a couple of stogies with the boys, so life is good. Life is good. I do have to say this, and I know that the chances here are really low, but I was yesterday. I was at the Walmart on Wade Hampton in Taylor's, the big one, and I was there with the lady friend, and we were walking through the garden section. We're walking through the garden section because shut up, that's what we do now. And as I was exiting the garden section, I had to walk up to the front of the store. And she was behind me. I was coming back to meet her. And I walked away. And when I came back, she said, "Did you not hear that guy say, 'Hey, Rob,' to you?" I was like, no. Or I would have turned around and said, "Hello, person." She's like, yeah, you're walking away. And that guy said, "Hey, Rob." And you just kept on walking. I was like, oh, no. So, that being said, you guys, if you see me in public, please say hi, but do it loudly because I'm kind of deaf, right? Like I genuinely have like 25% hearing loss because I've worn headphones for my entire adult life and play in a rock band. I've killed my eardrums. So if you happened to say hello to me yesterday at the Walmart on Wade Hampton and Taylor's, and I just walked away from you, I am not a boathead. I am not a jerk. I honestly just did not hear you. So if you happen to be listening, whoever that was, I sincerely apologize. To the rest of you, if you guys see me out there at the course today, Texture says, are you going to Carolina Country Club or Thornblade? I don't know yet is the answer. The lady friend has the passes, and I haven't looked up who's playing where. Last year I went, and I think we went to the first one. I think we went to Carolina. I don't remember exactly where we were. I do remember that we sat up in a booth atop the 18th fairway, and if anybody anywhere on the course hit a birdie, beers were $1 for a minute. It was amazing.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Did anybody hit a birdie?
Oh, yeah, there were a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
If anybody on the course hit a birdie, beers were like $1 for a minute. And then there just became like this chaotic rush amongst all the not golfers like me sprinting to the bar to be like, I'll take 5. I don't know which one I'm going to be at. I will tell you, if you see me, I'll be in the blue Fan Upstate shirt with literally my name on it. So if you see me out there, come say hi, man. I'd love to meet you guys. Love to talk to you. I like meeting people. I enjoy it. A lot of guys in this business kind of like keep to themselves when they're done. I don't. I like being amongst people. I like meeting you guys. So if it was you that I unintentionally flat out ignored at the Walmart yesterday, I sincerely apologize. If you see me again, say hi, but louder. For the rest of you guys that I have not gotten the chance to meet, if you're going to be out there today and you see me, come say hi. If you're at the Brad Paisley show tonight, come say hi. If you're going to be at the Greenville Liberty game on Saturday, which you absolutely should be, it kicks off at 6 p.m., not 7. Kick off at 6 p.m. I'll be on the call for that. Please come say hi. If you are around and you see me at any event, please come up and say hi. I appreciate it. I like it. I like to meet you guys. This show is your show, so I want to be a man amongst the people. Come on by, say hi. Texture says the cliffs are far away, so Thornblade is moved. Then that's where I was last year. I was whichever one is not far away last year. I was at the one that's relatively close to the big Goodyear plant, or Goodyear building. I guess it's like their corporate building, the big corporate office. Anyway, I was at whatever course is close to that last year, and probably will be there again today. So again, like I said, you see me out and about, come say hi. I apologize to whoever it was that I flat out ignored yesterday. That was on me. That was my bad. I didn't mean to do it. I genuinely just did not hear you, and I apologize for that. I'm not a jerk, I promise. All right. What else do we want to get in before we get out today? What else do we want to talk about? I've pretty much run through it, everything. Super regionals are set to start today. I gave you the schedule earlier. Texter says, I'll be there Sunday. Buddy scored me a ticket to the luxury box. I got another one? I'll meet you there. All right. Tennessee Notre Dame is going to get us all kicked off. Those matches, those baseball games start this evening at 6 o'clock. Tennessee Notre Dame is set up. That's going to be Notre Dame at Tennessee. Texas is at East Carolina. That's an 8-9 matchup. That'd be good. Louisville at Texas A&M. I don't know about that one, man. Texas A&M's playing good baseball and have been a really good season-long team. I think Louisville's outmatched in that one. Oklahoma at Virginia Tech. Oklahoma was not ranked. Made it to a super regional. Virginia Tech at home. Blacksburg. That's a tough place to play, man. Tough place to play is Blacksburg, Virginia. I would be shocked if Oklahoma walks out of there and into Omaha. Arkansas is at number 10. North Carolina, come on and raise up. That's a beautiful stadium there, too. I'd be intrigued in that one. Ole Miss at number 11, Southern Miss. I like this one, and let me tell you why. Why Ole Miss, Southern Miss will be a good series to watch. Southern Miss is the better team, okay? Southern Miss is a better team. But Ole Miss has been the traditional baseball powerhouse in the Magnolia State. Ole Miss is not super thrilled that Southern Miss is kind of taking their spot. And Southern Miss has had some really good teams come through, but Ole Miss is not super thrilled that Southern Miss is kind of taking the shine in the Magnolia State. That's going to be a fight with a capital F. I'll give you another one really good one. This might be the series to watch. The series to watch is going to be number 14 Auburn at number 3 Oregon State. That is going to be the fight to watch. Oregon State is a damn good baseball team, and Oregon State is a damn hard place to play baseball. But Auburn had the best offense of any baseball team in the series. Auburn blew their regional out of the water. They smoked Florida State like 22-11. They smoked UCLA. They killed SELSU. Like Auburn put up like 100 runs in the regional. They bring that offense to the super regional. They might very well snipe Oregon State and move on to the super regional. That's the series to watch. Keep an eye on it. All right, let me get Wes in here before we take before we hit Twitter on the way out the door. Wes, welcome in, big fella. Good to have you, man. What's happening?
Hey, Rob, I was just out at Carolina Country Club just a little bit ago making deliveries, and I saw Boo Weekly and Martin Flores teeing off. They were playing together.
Boo Weekly. Yeah. Funny enough, I've played golf with Boo Weekly down in Sandestin. That dude is a freaking riot, man. He is on a different level.
He's cool as can. He sat there and just talked with us and everything. He's cool as can be. But both of them crushed it. 320 to 330 off the tee.
Boo can smoke the ball, man. I played in a celebrity pro-am with Boo down at the Sandestin Golf and Beach Resort a number of years ago. He is a down-to-earth fun. Like, there are guys, and I don't mean to call him out because he's from my hometown, but like Bubba Watson Bubba Watson grew up in a place called Baghdad, Florida, which is just a little bitty old country town. And when Bubba got money, he kind of became like a different cat. Boo Weekly has not changed a damn thing about Boo Weekly, and I love him for it. Love that guy.
Yeah, he was cool. He was sitting there talking about bass fishing with us.
I believe it. I believe it entirely. Wes, great to hear from you, buddy. Appreciate you listening out there in the Berg, man. Thanks for checking in. Yet another member of the Rob Brown Armada, the #1 sports talk radio show amongst delivery drivers in the upstate. And I say that with every single bit of seriousness. Not a bit of facetiousness there. I love that the blue-collar folks out there are listening to us, man. Makes the world a difference to me. I love it. Appreciate you guys. Will says, if you're coming to Carolina CC, call me. All your beer is on me. Well, that is a really good argument for why we should take the drive, I think, Will. Said, if you're coming to Carolina Country Club, all your beer is on me. That's a damn good argument. I'm not going to take all my beer on you, but I will come have a beer with you. Let me see what the show shapes up. Well, let me see what the after show shapes up like. I have not been out that far yet. I don't think. So I may, the lady friends coming with me, we may throw the press passes in and head that way, man. I'm not mad at that. Appreciate it, Will. Good man. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. All right, let's do this to end the show. What do you say?
And now, the Rob Brown Show presents Twitter Trending Topics.
All right, it's now time for your Twitter Trending Topics. Coming in at #1, we have hashtag Friday morning.
Is over, thankfully. I gotta apologize. Sincerely, this show was not up to standards. This show, I'm not happy with this show. I am not thrilled about this show. I am quite upset with myself about this show. It was not the show that I intended to give you guys. I just did not find a rhythm. So I sincerely apologize that this show is not up to snuff. So I apologize. I will be back Monday and I will reset everything and I will get it back up to par. So Friday morning, glad it's over, T2. Glad it's over because it has been a pain in the...
Yeah, well, I guess I could tell you about this hashtag, which is Friday Vibes, but I think we'll move on from that one.
I just gave you my Friday vibes. They suck. I blew it. This was a slump game for me. I went 0 for 4 from the plate. I walk off in shame. On Monday, I will come out to Nickelback and try to do harder.
All right, hashtag Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, so I have not been on Call of Duty in a couple days. But from what I understand, they took Vanguard and Cold War off. Like Vanguard and Cold War are gone.
Cold War is still there.
Cold War's still there.
Yeah,
so they took Vanguard down.
Vanguard was awful, man.
I heard. I almost bought it. I'm glad I didn't.
It got like 2 stars on Microsoft Store.
Oh, bummer. Let's see. Texture says, fan, I work for the same company as Wes, just in Greenville, another proud delivery driver. Let's go.
Yeah.
#1 show of delivery drivers in the upstate. Makes my, you know why? You guys are in the car all 3 hours and you stick with me the whole time? Damn right. I will give you a better show on Monday, I promise. Thank you for listening. T2, great work this week, buddy. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. Happy to do it. Lonzo returns on Monday. That's when we'll see you all next. Follow me on social media at The Rob Brown Show on all the things. I'll be posting a lot this weekend because I got a lot to do. We'll see you guys back here Monday. Don't drink and drive. I'll punch you in the face. Have a great weekend. Later, brother. There you go. Good luck, lad. Go C's.
Phones.
Okay. I was like panicking. All right. Appreciate you guys.